The World Cup is here and Black Friday is right around the corner. U4GM.com are doing an extra discount of 10% off your order if you use the code ELITE at your checkout. The World Cup isn't even supposed to be in winter. We already know that, and it might never happen again. But on top of that, my birthday is on November 21st, which is today. And on top of that, the USA play Wales to kick off our World Cup campaign on my birthday. That's never going to happen again. So I've got a pretty crazy day ahead of me with that. And to be honest, this could be the best birthday or the worst birthday ever, depending on what the score of that USA versus Wales game is. But if you guys would like to make my birthday a little bit better, drop a like on today's video. That would be absolutely amazing. Now, I've got some investments. More higher budget today that I've already gone in on, and then I've got some lower budget and medium budget investments that I think you guys should pick up today. Now, here's the bad news. The informs that we can get this week are absolutely terrible. I mean, they are all bad. In fact, I honestly couldn't care less what we get in these red player picks. In fact, in the premium team of the week pack that we actually do have, the most amount of coins that we can get in return for that pack is 83,000 coins right now. And that's if we get the 3 most expensive informs in the game. So I'm definitely not going to open that today. And even though the picks this week couldn't be good, they were still the worst possible thing we could get. We didn't even get the crappy inform Kroos or Nunez or Keane or Odegaard. We got absolutely nothing. I'm just going to take Otavio and he's going to be SBC fodder for me. I might throw those guys into a FUT Champs upgrade here soon. But the real packs that we care about are the tradable packs, like the ultimate pack, because I have yet to pack a Path to Glory above the price of 11,000 coins. So that's what I'm going to hope to get in one of these 2 packs. Let's see if we can get a little bit of birthday pack luck. Come on, EA. Come on, EA. No Path to Glory. And it's Italian, and I just don't think that there's anybody that could be. I think it's Bastoni. So that's a really, really, really bad pack. I mean, it couldn't have been much worse. EA, you have to hook it up today. Of all days, you have to hook it up. I haven't had a good pack in FIFA since like week 1 of FIFA 23. Please, come on. Ruben Diaz. Whatever. Stop walking out. Nobody's excited to pack you. Let's talk about the market now, especially with Path to Glory cards. I've invested in some high budget cards. Kyle Walker has worked out the best for me, and I do have 4 of them. But I also decided to get an Nkunku for 1.6 million and a Goretzka for 963,000 coins. And I do slightly regret picking up these cards, not because I'm not making profit. If you take a look at the price of Nkunku or of the price of Goretzka, we are going to end up making coins, and we are already in the profit zone. Right now, Nkunku is about 1.75 mil, but we're also looking at about 80 to 90,000 coin tax, which means that I'm only profiting about 60 to 70k on Nkunku right now, which isn't a ton. So it probably would have been better for me to buy multiple cards of lower budget cards like Bruno Guimaraes, because even though the profit might have only been 30k per card on the Bruno Guimaraes, I could have bought 6 of them instead, and that would have added up to a lot more profit. But right now, Nkunku is sitting at about 1.75 million coins. The next cheapest actually is 1.8, so if that one gets bought, he could go up another 50k in theory. But those cards, the reason I picked them up were more so because Vinicius Jr. saw a very, very big rise in his price after he went out of packs, or towards the end of him going out of packs, because on the first couple days, he was going for less than 2.1 million coins. In fact, I saw a couple of them for close to 2 million. And now he's 2.7 million. I could see a similar thing happening to Nkunku. And the biggest thing, and the thing that kind of took me over the fence to buying Nkunku, was the fact that he already has 5-star skill moves, which means that if France do get to that stage of the upgrade, he's going to get another boost on his overall rating, which is going to make him a ridiculous card. And of course, France are favorites to go decently far in this tournament, despite the amount of injuries they've had. Now, I'm still probably going to sell these cards before their first game because although that risk could pay off for me, it could really screw me over too. If Kyle Walker goes into this game or England go into this game against Iran today, which is happening in just a few hours, and they end up losing or drawing that match, this Kyle Walker will crash down in price. So that's a lot of coins lost, and the upside is he's going to continue rising normally. I don't think there's going to be a huge boost in price on the Kyle Walker if they do win, because they are expected to win. So there's going to be less of a rise if they win than there is going to be a drop if they draw or lose. So I've picked those cards up for about 600 on average. I got one for 590, one for 611. And right now he is looking at about 700,000 coins, and with the 35,000 coin tax, that's definitely not a bad investment for one day in terms of a flip. But again, all of the Path to Glory cards rose today, every single one of them. So I probably could have even made more profit on some sort of lower budget Path to Glory. But that also opens up a huge opportunity for those of us that are going to be liquid after these matches, because I'm going to sell my Kyle Walkers, and I'll probably hold Goretzka and Kunku until before their first match, but I'm going to sell my Kyle Walkers, and that's going to put about 2.5 million coins in my bank. And when I get that, I'm going to wait and see which teams end up winning today. We've got England versus Iran, we've got Senegal versus Netherlands, we've got USA versus Wales. And there is a big Path to Glory card from all of those games. You've got De Jong in the Senegal Netherlands. You've obviously got Walker and Grealish in the Iran England game. And then in USA versus Wales, you've got Christian Pulisic. So there's a ton of different options. And you know, unless all those teams win comfortably, there's going to be an opportunity to pick up one of those cards en masse and make a lot of profit. Because although maybe one of these teams ends up losing in their first match, like Netherlands, if they do drop points, people are going to quickly realize, well, they play Qatar and then Ecuador, and they might still go through, and he'll rise in price back into that next match they play. So you're picking up at that panic, and then you're waiting for the rebound, and then you can even wait a little longer until people actually start buying into the next hype for the next game, which is only about 4 days after their first match. So you don't have to wait very long either. So I've got a few of these investments, and I will be selling before their first matches, but I thought I'd try out some higher budget cards this week. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the cards that aren't quite as high budget. We'll take a look at my FUTBin tracker, and we'll look at some of the cards that I've been looking at all day. And one of them that I'm very jealous of his rise is Lukaku, who's up to 74,000 coins. He's been sitting at about 60 to 61K, 62K for a while. And he was sitting there for quite some time. He didn't move down. He didn't move up. Even when other cards like Gnabry were moving up when they started at the same price, he didn't start rising. Now he is. And he's up to 74,000 coins. And if we take a look at somebody like Grealish, who is now out of packs, we can see that Grealish, and I don't believe I have him on this list, so let me add him. We can see that that Grealish rose the most in the 2 days leading up to his first game. So this is the rise that we've seen over the last 36 hours for him. So a huge increase in price from 114,000 coins to 144,000 coins. Absolutely massive rise. I'm expecting that to happen for any of the games that happen a little bit later in the week. And if we take a look at the World Cup schedule, the latest games for match day 1 happen on Thursday. So we've got today, those 3 games I mentioned. Tomorrow, Argentina, Denmark. We've got Mexico, Poland, France. So there's some different cards that we could look at there. In fact, I think Delaney might be a card that we want to look at as an investment. And those play tomorrow. So if you want to get in on investment on them this morning or at content, then you could sell later in the night for profit. Then we've got on Wednesday, Morocco, Croatia, Germany, Japan, Spain, Costa Rica, Belgium, Canada. And then on the final day, we've got even more games on Thursday. Brazil, where Bruno Guimaraes will be out of packs by then. I think he's going to be a really good investment. Yes, he has risen a little bit already. There's still opportunity. So I've picked up my coins, I've picked up my investments. I'm going to sell my investments. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinvest in other investments that could still rise even higher. And so that's the idea that I've got right now for these Path to Glory cards. The next thing I want to talk about is SBC fodder, because today is Monday, and Monday means we get a casino SBC, or at least that's been the trend for the last few weeks. We've gotten a casino SBC, which is like a base icon SBC, or a Foot Heroes SBC, or a World Cup Foot Heroes SBC, and today is going to be a maximum of 89 rated World Cup Heroes SBC. And that is obviously going to be a pretty good pack, because if we take a look at Foot Heroes themselves, there are so many very expensive World Cup Heroes that are 89 rated or below. So let's go ahead and take a look at the price. And of course, the first two are Yaya Toure and Claudio Marchisio. You can pack them in today's SBC when it comes out. Now, you can't get Lucio. You can't get Voller, you can't get Forlan, and there's a couple crappers that you can't get either, like Colère and Papin. But overall, there's not too many that are out of range. You just really got to hope you don't get Peter Crouch or Clint Dempsey or Al Jabir or Campos. I mean, you could use Cahill, but I don't think you want him either. But most of the cards that you get are really good. And it depends on the price of the SBC, of course. And I don't think they're going to make it super cheap, but we haven't seen one that's been over 250,000 coins yet. So it's probably going to hover around there, or maybe 300K, because there are so many good cards that we can get out of this. But if we take a look at the cheapest players by rating, and we scroll down to 90 rated, the cheapest card at 90 rated is an Inform that's currently in packs. Now, here's why this is a great investment. Tony Kroos is going to be a little bit of a burner. You might have to wait a little longer depending on what SBC requirements are in that World Cup maximum 89 Heroes pack today. But there are not going to be any more Team of the Weeks for the rest of the World Cup. That won't exist for like a month and a half now. So Team of the Week cards are going to be cut from supply. He is cheaper than the gold cards of that same rating, and he goes out of packs in just 2 days. So that is kind of a triple threat on why that could be a really, really safe investment. So if you've ever been a little bit hesitant to make investments on cards that are more meta and trying to read the market, go with an investment that's really, really safe like this one, because you really can't lose any coins, and the longer you hold, the more you're probably going to end up making. And the higher rated that, or the higher price that 90 rated gold cards go, the higher that Inform will go. And once it's out of packs, Neuer and Courtois will still be in packs, so it's probably going to get more expensive than those ones as well. But that's not the only investment that I'm looking at. 87 rateds are not terribly expensive. Sure, we've seen them at about 15.5, 16K. We've also seen them at 22K. And they haven't gotten back down since the Icon SBC dropped last week. So I think there's still opportunity to get in on some 87s, although there is a slight bit of risk involved in that. It depends on what they require for the SBC. Even if they require an 87 rated squad, if they say you need a minimum of 389 rated players in the team to complete it, well, you're not going to see too many people going out and buying 87s. And the reason for that is those 89s are going to bring up the rating, and then you can finish the squad with a bunch of 84s and 85s most likely. So you've got to watch out for what those requirements are. They normally drop one SBC that's a little cheaper. Maybe it's 85 or 86 rated, or even 84, depending on what they do. And 84 rateds and 85 rateds are super cheap still. Very, very cheap. 86s as well have come back down. They did get up to 16K, 17K with the last Foot Heroes SBC 2 weeks ago, but they are back down now. So there's an opportunity to invest in all of these cards, and I don't see any of them going down today, but depending on the requirements, they might not move much. You've got to really get lucky to get those requirements on the rating that you're looking for. So maybe you spread out on the investments, or maybe you go all in on one rating and just hope for the best, and that is up to you. But we are going to see that today. And one thing that we've already begun seeing with that Foot Heroes World Cup thing leaked is the fact that these cards are already dropping in price. So there's a big panic with this SBC coming, and it happens every single time there's a casino SBC. We saw it with the Foot Heroes a couple weeks ago. We saw it with Icons. Now we're seeing it with these guys, and even with cards that aren't in packs right now, like Kuhl, he's dropped in price a little bit. And it doesn't make a ton of sense because he's not even in packs anymore. And there's so many different cards that you could end up getting. So people are selling in anticipation of getting that card back. And the odds that you pack that exact card that you're looking for is very, very low. So what we're going to see is a continual drop on these cards until 6 p.m. UK today when content drops, and then we'll probably see a pretty quick recovery or rise on the market for a lot of these cards. And right now, Smolarek is actually still extinct. I don't know when they're going to update that price range. So we've seen a drop in price on these cards already. Obviously, ignore the ones that are 90 rated and above, especially take a look at the Team 2 cards, especially because those are the ones in packs. But the market is very, very low for these cards. Pick up those cards after the pack drops and make yourself some coins. It'll be pretty quick too. You can probably sell later that night.